What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here, and also in sales. Also proprietor of this podcast where I love to bring individuals on to talk about their why into their occupation and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's coming on with me today. She is a voiceover talent. She's also an actress, producer. Her name is Amber Musser. We're going to talk to her about her why of getting into the media industry. We're going to talk to her about some of her favorite things that she's done. We're just going to be able to get to know her a little bit as well. She has credits in the film industry, such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She also has credits for Days of Our Lives with the TV series as well. She's also done work in the theater since for Romeo and Juliet. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the wonderful, the talented, and the beautiful Amber Musser. Hey Amber, how you doing?
Chris, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You look absolutely lovely today. Just want to say that off the bat.
As do you, sir. As do you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amber. I really do appreciate that. I just want to thank you also for coming on to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. How's your week been starting off so far?
Fantastic. A lot of hard work, but playing pretty hard too, so I can't complain at all.
I love that. I love that. And listen, I want to reiterate to you why I wanted to have you on here before I start peppering you with all these questions. You are a voiceover talent, which is amazing. You're in the media space. You've done films, TV series. You've also done theater as well. I'm a huge theater buff. I love theater. I love plays. I love musicals. If it wasn't for journalism, as far as sports journalism, I probably would have did theater because I'm so into that for sure. But I love talking to people about their why of getting into the industry. Everybody has a unique story to tell, and your story is just as special as anyone else's. We're so used to doing projects and doing media and always on the go that we don't get a chance to sit down and really get to talk about our why and our reasoning behind doing what we do. So I'm really excited to be able to talk to you today about that.
Awesome. I'm excited to explore that too.
Absolutely. So my first question, Amber, is the same as it always is on my podcast episodes. What is your why? Why
So
do
my,
you do
mhm.
what you do? Oh, I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Maybe you can hear my dogs outside. They're playing a little bit outside of my sound booth. I'm hoping it's blocking the noise. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just excited to jump into answering that question. My
Okay.
why.
Good.
What a wonderful way to start an interview.
I
Um,
agree.
So, if I had to define my why in a word, and I think that that's a pretty approachable way to do it, I would say balance. As most creatives, I have this driving passion to do creative work, and it's absolutely wonderful. However, I have to balance that with my number one job, which is being a mom. And that comes first each and every day. So,
Absolutely.
finding this particular space, this creative niche within my creative industry, has been the absolute best possible balance for me for professional and also to be able to have some flexibility in the day. So if somebody gets sick at school, I'm able to, hopefully I don't have a session at that time and there is some flexibility. So I can go and help and do that and do all the things that come with being a mom and a wife and keep those in the forefront. I'm also, because I own my own S corporation, I'm able to use my MBA. So it's just this beautiful balance of all the things that I have to bring to the table. So that's definitely my why.
I feel that. Now, is this something that you've always wanted to do ever since you just, kind of grew up, or is this something that kind of fell into your lap, like something that you found and discovered?
So I would say it's kind of a mix of those two things. I have always been the biggest cartoon buff, even since I was a kid, and I would imitate the voices. I would love it. I never realized that was a job. Growing up in rural
Sure.
Middle Tennessee, the opportunities to be a voice actor were not really presenting themselves to me. So
Sure.
I
Sure.
started in community theater, children's theater, professional theater, films, TV shows, all those other things. Moved to Los Angeles when I was 21, 22, early 20s. And I was out there for a decade. During that time, I did not explore voiceover. I was still doing traditional go-sees, cattle calls, all the different castings. Um, After I took a break from my industry, and my husband and I, actually, it's a pretty big arc change that we had. We decided
Okay.
to change our lives completely. So we moved from Los Angeles to my hometown, which is 20 minutes outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Um,
Mm.
when I met my husband, he was doing audio for television. Moving to Nashville, there just weren't the same types of jobs were not available. There's a lot
Sure.
of music work, tons, but there's not a lot of studio in-house running sound on the board for television shows.
Mm.
So he ended up going out with a band called Sugarland, which was a great experience. They were weekend warriors. There was no like huge stretches of months that they were on tour.
Mhm.
But at the same time, we knew that wasn't what we wanted to do. So we looked at our options, as we often do. We'll sit around and we're like, so how do we pivot to get to the place where we want to be with our lives? Um,
Sure.
so when my husband started college years before that, and I'll tell you why I'm talking about him so much. I know this interview's about me, but he
Mm.
decided to try to do medicine and music when he first went to college. So we had
Okay.
a bevy of science undergrad credits. So we utilized those. He finished a science degree. We moved to where we live now, which is Wheeling, West Virginia, so that he could go to medical school. So he is now a surgical physician assistant and in a much better place to, be home, to be around for our daughters during this transition. Okay, when we moved here to Wheeling, I had a high school education and a lot of entertainment industry experience.
Okay.
So at this time, it was a better economical decision and a better decision for our family that I stay home and take care of our two young daughters. They were babies at this point.
Mhm.
So I did. And then the plan was always when our daughters are in school full time, it was time for me to rejoin the workforce. Okay.
Sure.
So you know how it is when you sketch out a plan years in advance, and then you kind of understand more about the details of that plan as you start to move it.
Absolutely.
My favorite quote is "Make the road by walking." Menahem Street Band, I love them. So during this process, there was a lot of discovery, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of change, right? So I was like, now that I know how intense it is to keep a home, to plan for the girls, to make sure everything is together, how am I going to find some way to contribute financially to our family that fits into everything that I already have to do every day?
Okay.
So I looked around. I was like, what do we have in this house that is unique? And at that point, my husband still had a music studio downstairs. I was like, we have microphones, we have all of this music equipment. Now, I we do make music together. I'm more of a singer and a songwriter than I am an instrumentalist. But I remembered, I was like, so obviously I'm not going to start a music career, but I remembered my friend Amanda had been posting about her voiceover career. And I was like,
Okay.
voiceover. Okay. So I gave her a call and she was gracious enough to walk me through the basics of how to get started. So
Mm.
this beautiful feat of engineering that I'm sitting in today is a Studio Bricks sound booth that was custom built for my business. Flashback to when I started. I was in the corner of our basement with a moving blanket hung behind me to block sound and some homemade sound panels in front of me using a USB microphone.
I feel
So
that.
from that, right, humble beginnings, but that's okay because I started. And that's always the most important part of any change, I think. So got started. Um, and it was immediately a hit. It was immediately a fit for me. I was booking right away. So it worked really well. And the balance was beautiful. So we built our own sound booth after that. And then a few years later, upgraded to this gorgeous sound booth.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I appreciate that background of a story. I really do. It brings things to perspective of your why and your story. The fact that you came from Tennessee, moved to LA, then relocated now to West Virginia, I believe you said. Uh,
Yes, yeah.
now. That's amazing. And to be a supportive wife of your husband's dreams is also be that's amazing as well. So it's great to hear stuff like that. I appreciate your transparency. Speaking of Tennessee, you went to MTSU.
I
If
did
I'm
go to MTSU for a while. Yeah,
yeah, I know that doing a little bit of research, you went there, but you also, I think it also said you went to West Liberty University as well.
I
If I'm not
did.
mistaken, with your master's. Talk to me about were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to MTSU or West Liberty to get your master's?
Sure. Yeah. At that point in my life, I'll be honest, proximity and ease was a big deciding factor. So, sure, I would have loved to go to Harvard. That would have been wonderful. We actually had a family member who left the Navy and went to Harvard to get her MBA. And I was like, wow, that's incredible.
That is.
The time commitment was so intense. And when I saw that West Liberty offered a program that was online, because Chris, I have to frame this for you. I moved here with a high school education. I found there was a professional studies program that West Liberty offered. I could meet them on Saturdays. We would go for 4 hours. We had a small cohort. So I got my undergrad degree there. And then the world shut down for the pandemic. It was
Yep.
2020.
2020.
I had just enrolled, so I had paid to be a member of the MBA program, and I was like, well, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go forward. My daughter's school closed, so I was homeschooling two children. I started this business, and I was in an accelerated MBA program. I graduated with a 3.8, and I loved it. It was fantastic. But West Liberty offered me the flexibility to go to school online, and that was the difference for me. Yeah.
I love that. I do. I've never even heard of West Liberty before I looked that up. I was like, what is West Liberty? I was like, never heard of that. But it's
Go
really
Hilltoppers. Yeah.
right. It's really a testament to your hard work, though,
Thank you.
of being that right to be able to graduate with 3.8 in a master's program. I'm in master's school right
Oh,
now. I graduate in 2025 of May. It's
wonderful.
definitely not easy. No question about it. I was a fool. I ended up taking 4 classes in one semester, and I was like, and working full time. I was like, I
Oh,
must be out of my damn mind. I mean, this is crazy.
you're gonna look
Um,
back and wonder how you did it, but you'll do it.
yeah,
You'll do it.
yeah. I definitely that was my very first semester. My very first semester was this past January, where I
Wow.
took 4 classes. I was working full time as well, and I was like, I made it through with 4 Bs, and I was like, okay,
Accept it.
we're
That's wonderful.
Mhm. Absolutely, no question. So I commend you and anybody that does that, gets a master's program and has to homeschool 2 children. That's really difficult at a time to do because homeschooling over that pandemic,
Oh my
whew,
gosh. Oh my gosh. Just like, let's all give ourselves a high five for getting through that.
right,
And it's nice
right,
to look at it in the rear view mirror, honestly, because
absolutely,
that was very challenging.
absolutely. I can imagine. Amber, I want to ask you some favorite questions.
Okay.
The 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Are you ready?
I think so. We'll see.
All right, we will see. Here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh, favorite meal. I like to cook. Now, I did my research too, and I know that based on past episodes, you're a foodie as well.
I am.
A huge foodie. So, I have recently perfected pasta. And so I love to make homemade pasta for my family and sauce, right? So that's a fun thing. But my favorite thing to do is on the weekends to pick a challenging meal that I've never tried to make before. I often
Okay.
like to learn how to make recipes from different cultures. So Thai is a good focus right now. I love to learn a new Thai recipe, a new curry, a new soup, anything. Um, so yeah, I would have to say anything like new, difficult, challenging. Pasta's the safe one because I've got that one dialed in and that's fine. But yeah, just anything new and exciting.
I'm with you on that. I mean, I've only been to West Virginia twice, but if I ever pull up again, I'm gonna have to say hello to you and try some of that pasta.
Come
I'm gonna
over for dinner. Come on, we'll make you some
absolutely.
pasta.
That'd be great. Now the Thai food, I think you might have to keep that with the family because spice ain't
Okay.
nice for his body. I don't know why it ain't, but
Okay.
spice is not nice for whatever reason. But I like it though. I love that. There's 2 ends of the spectrum and challenge yourself. Why not in the kitchen? That's great.
Absolutely.
Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I knew this one was coming and I tried to prepare, but I have been so fortunate to see so many incredible concerts. So I'm gonna go with it was Sugarland when my husband was out with them. They were performing at the Hollywood Bowl, and they actually, my husband's a violinist and has been for years and years. They asked him to play with them to play Come On Eileen. So he gets to, open it. And he played that on several of the shows. But that show at the Hollywood Bowl, Sugarland, and watching Nate play with them, that's got to be my favorite concert.
Awesome. I'm with you on that, no doubt. I just learned of who Sugarland was about a
Oh,
couple of
yeah.
years. And I have profound respect for them. They're a very talented group. They got some great songs, no question about it.
Hardworking, really awesome people. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm huge into Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys
Oh,
is my concert, no
yeah.
question about it. So she was
Wow.
amazing.
Where
Saw
did
her
you
live
hear her play?
in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
And when I went to undergrad there, I went to, I think it was the Phillips Arena at the time. Now it's called State Farm Arena.
okay.
And she played, and she was tremendous. Robin Thicke was actually on her undercard. So Robin Thicke opened the show. She closed it. So it was really,
Her voice is next to none. She's incredible.
no question. Yes. And very beautiful as well. No question
Oh,
about
yeah, true.
favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Favorite place I've ever traveled to. I'm gonna go with Oahu. There's just something that is magical about the water in Hawaii. Being able to see all the way to the bottom, Oahu. I'm gonna pick that one.
Okay, definitely. I've been to Maui, been to
Oh,
Hawaii.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. In Honolulu, that was a family trip. I would say definitely the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands is
Ooh.
definitely something that is my favorite. Swimming with the stingrays and the dolphins is an experience I would never forget for sure. So
That's on our list, so we'll have to keep that one on the list. It sounds great.
please do. I think you and the girls and your husband would definitely love that. Even if you can get a bigger group and go with some more family, that'd be amazing too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
No
that
doubt.
sounds wonderful.
Absolutely. I'm a sport person, Amber, so I gotta ask you a sports
Okay.
question.
Uh-oh.
Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
They're the same sport. It's hockey. I'm a Pens fan. I love the Pittsburgh Penguins. I also love the Nashville Predators. So, yeah, it's hockey all the way. My girls love to play it. We're ice skaters. It's just, I don't know what it is about hockey. Maybe because it's such a fast game, it feels like things progress so quickly. The players are in and off the ice. There's a lot of variety. Hockey.
Okay. Now listen, if you would have stayed in Tennessee, it would have been very hard to get some hockey out there. That's for sure.
We do not do winter sports in the South. It's just not an
Right.
available pastime. So,
Right. So, now that you're in West Virginia, it makes it a little bit more acceptable there. That's for sure. Because you definitely get the winter sports there for sure. But do you like Sid the Kid? Is Sid the Kid your favorite player, or do you have a favorite player?
Uh, I mean, I think everybody deep down that Sid is your favorite. His leadership on the ice is really admirable and it's great. I love to, of course, Evgeny Malkin, all of these just legendary players that they have on the roster are great. But yeah, it's Sydney. It's number 87 all the way.
Absolutely. He's my favorite for sure. No question.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of players that are very good. Ovechkin comes to mind.
yeah.
The
Mhm.
kid from Edmonton, he's really good. The Oilers, I'm losing his name, but I really like him. Jack Eichel from the Buffalo, well, originally drafted from the Sabres. I like him too. So yeah, it's a lot of players that I like in the NHL. That's very, very good. But Sid the Kid he's the top of the top for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty amazing.
Last of the favorites.
Okay.
Favorite restaurant that you like to eat at. As you said, I'm a foodie. I have only been to West Virginia once, and that was to watch the Mountaineers play football. That's it. But yeah, tell me what's a food
Understandable.
place.
Everybody winds up in WVU. So I'm going to give you two spots in Pittsburgh and two spots here locally because it's like Sophie's Choice for me, Chris. I can't pick one favorite restaurant. I love them all. So
Sure.
in Pittsburgh, there is a restaurant called Otaru. It's Japanese food, but the fish is imported from Japan. The chefs are from Japan, and the sushi is decadent. It's amazing. It's incredible.
I've never had sushi.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had
This
it.
would be a great first spot. I'm going to be honest with you. It would set the bar so high, though. I'm afraid you'd be disappointed by everything that comes after. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Okay.
fantastic. And my
Mm.
second restaurant in Pittsburgh is also Japanese food. It's called Kura, and it's our favorite to go to as a family because it's a robot sushi bar. So a robot actually brings your drinks to the table, and there's, a
Wow,
conveyor belt. So as you order, your food slides straight to the table, and the girls get to order off of a computer screen, and it's just a really fun time.
that's
Um,
different.
but I have to say, here in Wheeling, now I keep hearing, because I've only been here for 8 years. Previous to that, I hear that there weren't so many like great restaurant options. I'm glad that I live in a time where there are. So we have Ellen
Okay.
Jack's, which is amazing. It's fantastic. And then there's the Vagabond Kitchen, also fantastic, and later Alligator. Every one of those restaurants has owners that are so passionate about their work and what they put into their food. You know how you can taste the soul, you can taste the love in the food.
Sure, sure.
That's what they dish up lunch and dinner. They're just incredible.
Now, what kind of restaurants are these? Because I know the first two you said in Pittsburgh were Japanese. Now, you
Yes.
mentioned another three in West Virginia. What kind of restaurants are those?
I would classify all three of those sort of under the Americana umbrella. You
Okay.
can do not really a meat and three, so to speak, because that's what I love about food in Tennessee. But here it's more of like Ellen Jack's, for instance, they'll have a nice prime rib on the menu for like a weekly special, and they'll trade that up with just some awesome sides. But again, like Americana, I would say that they don't go too far into Italian, they don't go too far into like Mediterranean. They just kind of hint at those influences and kind of stay with Americana. Vagabond Kitchen, if you are a meat eater, this is your place. They have the
You
best.
talking my language now. I
Oh my
love it.
gosh. Me too. I'm a
Mhm.
little bit of a carnivore. They have the best pork chop steaks, just everything on the menu. And later
Okay.
Alligator is a crepe restaurant, which
Mm.
having that right here in Wheeling, West Virginia is pretty special. But also their soups. So it's like soups, crepes, salads. But they also have these potato chips that they put pulled pork over, and they're just delicious.
Mm. I don't think I've ever heard of that, Amber, but
It's
I'm
a great
intrigued.
appetizer.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, no doubt. I'm definitely pulling up to that when I come back to West Virginia for sure.
Plenty of places for you.
Absolutely. And I got family in Pittsburgh too. Definitely familiar with the 412 area
Oh,
code
yeah.
Pittsburgh. No question. Definitely have family there. Went to Hershey Park, if you know about Hershey's Park.
I do know about Hershey
Um,
Park.
okay, so you know about that. So no question. I'm definitely familiar with the city of Pittsburgh for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. It's kind
Yeah,
of
no,
rare to find people who are, to be honest with you, you know.
yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, I have a family that's lived out there for quite some time. So, and I had a job interview out there once at the Pittsburgh Post Gazette.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, no question. I'm definitely fond of it.
Yeah.
Love the Pittsburgh teams, love the city. And definitely would check out those restaurants next time I'm there for sure.
Awesome. Good stuff. That's great.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So I want to hear Amber now about your day to day.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously being in this media industry, day to day changes, right?
Right.
It's the same hours. It's not like a 8 to 4, 9 to 5 type of job, right? We are doing all different kind of things, all different kind of times. Sometimes we work very long hours,
Yeah.
right? So tell me, what is a typical day to day for a voiceover talent? Like how many different voiceovers do you have to do? Is it contractual or is it something where you just get lined up per week, per day? How many hours do you normally work before you say I'm done? I got to give my voice a rest.
Okay. So I am a freelancer. So similar to you, we do have to go out and find our own work every day.
Yep.
So essentially, a day for me looks like up bright and early, making lunches, getting everybody out to school. And as soon as the girls are at school, I like to exercise before I have to sit down for a few hours. It's better for me just to kind of get that energy out so I feel like I can relax in here and mentally stay very focused on what I'm doing. So
Okay.
I have a miniature American Shepherd, and she and I usually jog anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. Then we come home, grab a quick shower, get ready to get started in the booth. I open all of the auditions for the day, which it can be a pretty big number sometimes. Run through those. Of course, any sessions that I have, everything gets pinged around that when they're actually pinned.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I'm able to do those auditions for, I would say, 2 to 3 hours. I work in here and then pop out and anything that's like back office because I'm also doing everything, so, taxes, reports, all those things, like, I'll step over into the office portion and do all of that, and then usually there's some time for errands, and then it's time to pick up from school, and then it's lessons and all the things after school, and then in the evenings, if I've got the steam because at 45, all this hits a little bit differently than it did,
Wow.
say, at 25, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's a lot of
Right.
stamina, so but if I have it in me and it's really nice after we've talked all day and everything is really warm, there's this nice resonant quality to the voice in the evening. So I like to step back into the booth before bed to do another round of auditions because they come in all day, just all day. And it's kind of like you're watching for jobs that fit you the most. You don't want to miss anything because what if I do miss putting in for this job and that would have been a great opportunity? Or, some clients turn into repeat clients. So I'm always in this mindset where I've got constant FOMO. I don't want to miss out on anything, on any job
Right.
auditions or, any time with my girls. So again, balance. So a typical day just looks like up at 6, go, 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 go to bed at about 9:30, definitely by 10 because I need that rest for the next day,
Yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. I would have never said 45, Amber. I definitely would have.
Thank you
That's
very
amazing. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. But it's
Yeah.
also a testament to you, keeping yourself in great shape. And also, just keeping yourself active and doing that. So yeah, whatever you're doing, keep it up for sure.
Sounds
One. Number 2, that's a lot of hours to be up, a day, but I understand, I totally get it, right? You're in the booth, you're working, you got kids, get them off to school, pick them up, maybe homework, but also try to have some wind down time for yourself and, your family as well. That is a day. It's a great segue though, because I wanna talk about mental health and work-life balance,
good.
right? You talked about a little bit balance between family and working.
Mhm.
Um, in this industry, we work long hours. There's some days where it's shorter than others, but particularly we work long days, right? And sometimes in this industry, you have to work at times where you might have to miss something, maybe a celebration, maybe a graduation, maybe holidays or close to the holidays, you have to work. Now, being a freelancer, it does give you more of an opportunity to kind of say, okay, I'm not going to work those days and set your own schedule.
Mhm.
But for most people in the media industry, they go by a schedule and you have to work through those times. We've had colleagues that have also dipped out of this industry of media and went to other occupations, right? So tell me, how do you keep your mental health strong and also still have that work life balance to where you can be with your family and also do what you love? Because it can be taxing, right? You can get burnout, overwhelmed. Tell me, how do you keep those things balanced?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. And I love talking about mental health. It's one of my favorite topics. So, outside of the power of positive thinking, which number one, and I think this is my most important rule, I safeguard my mindset. So, there's this old country song, growing up in Tennessee, I heard a lot of that as a child. I think it's George Jones, but it's called
Hmm.
in the corner of my mind, right? He says there stands a jukebox. And his jukebox is playing this sad song about a lady who left him, and it's all about that. Well, when I heard that as an adult, I said, my God, we all have a jukebox playing in our mind, right? So staying aware of that stream of internal thought is, I think, paramount to building and kind of fireproofing your mindset. So if I get tired and I kind of catch those thoughts in the back of my mind being like, ugh, it's raining today. I don't want to exercise, or ew, that's too much, or I don't want to do that. I'm like, hold on, hold on. How many days did you dream of this kind of a balance? How many days did you dream of
Hmm.
building where you are right now? Right. So then I kind of do a reality check and I usually give myself a little treat. My tea, obviously, I've always got the huge thing of like honey tea going, or just, take my dog outside and throw the ball for a little bit, try to break up that mindset. But the big three for me are mind, body, spirit, right? We've got these three elements to ourselves as humans. And so I try to do a little something for each of those pieces of myself every day. Now, like you said, we're we're very busy in the media industry, so sometimes we have to kind of do those things at the same time. So over the past probably 5 years, I have been practicing something that I don't know if this is a term, but I call it kinetic meditation. So as I'm out running these 3 to 5 miles, I'm listening to Deepak Chopra, to Eckhart Tolle, to you know, different spiritual leaders that kind of instill this, you can do it, build an abundance mindset, be positive with yourself, realize that it all seems so overwhelming, but really it's as overwhelming as you allow it to be. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so kinetic meditation for sure, eating well, treating myself to good food, taking those times to explore it and just like set everything down and just go cook a great meal in the kitchen. And at the end of the day, if none of that works, I remind myself that we are spinning on a rock in space in one of several different galaxies, in one of maybe multiple
Hmm.
universes. So really, is it worth getting upset about? I just try again to keep it all in check and keep that balance.
I love that. I don't think I've ever had that put it that way before.
Mhm.
But I absolutely love it. I do. It's always
Awesome.
great to hear different people's perspectives on how they deal with mental health and
Yeah.
work-life balance. I write poetry. I like to work out. I also have a strong foundation with family.
Yeah.
Being that I'm the only one here in Minnesota, I like to call moms back home in Georgia. I like to call dad in New York at times and just talk to them, check on them, see how they're doing, see if they need
Yeah.
anything and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's always great to hear different people's perspectives on that. I want to ask you about advice because
Okay.
in this industry, it's key sometimes to be able to give that advice to people that's up and coming. What is some advice that you would give someone that wants to be a voiceover talent in the media or actress or just in the film, media industry that wants to do the same thing that you're doing? What
Okay.
advice would you get?
Okay. First off, I like how you start this whole process with what is your why. I would say define your why, because that's something that's your bedrock. That's something you're going to hold on to through feast and famine. Um, because nobody can really, I think, prepare you to try and do something like this for a living, right? You kind of have to jump in and you learn by experience. You make the road by walking. So I would say be open. Don't take things personally. Remember, just remember, the project has so many moving parts. You may have the best voice for a project, but there may be some other small thing that disqualifies you for that role. So never take it personally and keep going. As soon as that job has passed, as soon as they've cast someone else, let it go, let it go, let it go, and move to the next thing. Just don't carry baggage. It's too heavy. Um, and to surround yourself too, this is something that I love, is to find a community. And they don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to do the same thing that you do for a living, but find a community. Like you said, you call your mom, you call your dad, you reconnect. Those
Yeah,
connections with people, I feel like will get you through a long, dark winter, So if you have people you can tell how you're feeling, sometimes if they're in the same industry, it's nice because they have that detailed understanding of what a typical day looks like.
absolutely.
But
Yes.
sometimes if they're not, that's okay too, because they can maybe provide a perspective that you haven't heard yet. So, yeah, community, don't take it personally, keep going, and remember why you got into it in the first place.
Love that. Great advice,
Thank
Amber. It really is. And the bonus question came up in my mind because,
you.
we are both freelancers. Now, I started out working in different publications and I went to freelance because I wanted more creative control over things that I wanted to write about or, journalism about, stuff like that. I
Uh,
just wanted more opportunities to be able to do different things because sometimes when you're in companies, they kind of dictate what can report on
yeah,
or what you have to write on, right? My
absolutely.
question to you is, were you going freelance, was that the same kind of reason why you went freelance, or did you just start, that way?
So in this industry, I think most people start as sole proprietors, right? Because it's kind of like here's the actor is the product. The actor is kind of an island, right? And that island has to go connect to an audience somewhere. So that's mostly our job. So I feel like by nature, this job kind of runs that way. Like I'm on the roster for several different companies that produce videos, but I'm not solely connected to any one of them.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that is kind of the nature of this industry, you know. And then after sole proprietorship, I ended up going into LLC and then finally into an S corp. And I've been a corporation for a few years now. So I feel like that, yeah, I just kind of feel like it's the typical route for an actor. You know, we have agencies and we're parts of these groups, but none of them own um kind of like, well, not own, I don't like that word. Like when you work with a company, you know, you're signed with them exclusively, perhaps. None of us are really exclusive in who we work with. So I think that's
Got
the nature of the industry.
Okay, it's always interesting to learn about something different, right? Because people
Yeah.
that are journalists, that are broadcast journalists that sign with stations, they're locked into 2, 3 year contracts, and they can't
Really?
either get out until their contract is up, or they have to buy their way out of it. In
Oh,
my case, I'm a print journalist for the most part. As I was, I didn't have a contract. So my thing was, if I wanted to leave, it was just a 2 week notice, give proper that if I wanted to be proper, and then go about my business. Now, as a freelancer, I make calls around, or
yeah.
people come to me and say, "Hey, can you cover this?" That's great. That's awesome. But it's always good to hear from different people in different media spaces, right? You as an actor, actress, and a voiceover, it's not so much of, oh well, you got to do this every single day. It's just a matter of what can I pick up, what can I do, what fits
Mhm.
my voice to do. Maybe this doesn't, this does. You could pass along with that. So I love asking the questions about
Yeah, no, that's great. And it just occurred to me too, it's not so different your industry and this industry because I'm assuming, you know, when I look through auditions, I'm like, oh, you know, my personal experience would and my sound would make me a good fit maybe for this job. I'm sure you look at different types of magazines or you know, online or whatever you're looking to write for, and you're like, hey, my voice would be a good fit for this particular magazine. Or is that kind of how you go about it?
Absolutely. Anytime that I'm looking for different work, because my background is covering high school, college, and pros. So
Oh,
my
wow.
thing is, when I've covered games and covered athletes of that and written feature stories and different things of that nature, I
Mhm.
kind of want to be in that wheelhouse. But at the same time, I'm not opposed to doing entertainment. I'm not opposed to doing to news. But again, you got to be like, okay, is this going to fit me? Am I going to
Yeah,
be able to, give the right kind of perspective for my audience to be attracted to me writing about it? Right? Am I
yeah,
going to give the same kind of desire to it as of someone who's in that brand going through it every single day, as
yeah,
opposed to a freelancer like myself? So yeah, it is similarities because the same thing you would do if there's like something, if somebody came to you with something and said, "Hey, I would love your voice on this." You probably be like, okay, this fits. Or you'll probably say, you know what, I might not be the best. Maybe somebody else can definitely do that. So it's
yeah.
definitely the same difference for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Absolutely. I want to ask you about well now I want to take you to my interactive game, I should say. And it's
Okay.
called This or That. So
Okay.
basically what this is I'm throwing some things at you, Amber, and you get to choose this or that.
Okay.
Okay? Are you
Okay.
ready?
I think so. We'll find out.
Okay, here we go. All
Okay.
right, so we've been vibing all podcast episode long. Let's keep this thing going. Okay, so
Okay.
here we go.
Sounds good.
Which chicken place, if you had
Mm.
to choose, would you decide to choose? Popeyes or KFC?
God, Popeyes.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. The
Mm.
South in you just came
It
out. That's what
did
I'm
a
talking
little bit. It's the biscuits, you know, I can't not.
about. I'm with you on that. We vibing, Amber. We off to a good start. Let's
Good.
keep this thing rolling.
Okay.
Which chicken wing flavors are you choosing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go lemon pepper.
Okay. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Wet.
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Bone in.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Damn it, I knew you was on point like a period. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you like to get a little messy, is what you saying?
I do. If you're not having to like lick your fingers and use the wet wipe, I don't you're not eating wings.
And
Sorry to anybody that offended.
Listen, you no, that's okay. You speaking the gospel to me. That's for sure. No question. But there have been some people on here that be like, you know what? I don't like the messiness of the sauce. I'm like, well, how can you eat a buffalo? How can you not buffalo? How can you eat a
No,
wing, chicken
I
wing with no
know.
sauce?
If a fork comes into play, I don't feel like it's the same experience.
It's not,
It's
Amber. It's not.
yeah.
And listen, you ain't what's already understood don't need to be said. So I'm with you on that.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
here we go. Here we go. All right. These next four have
Okay.
to do with music concerts. You
Okay.
rather attend. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Which music concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see Casey Musgraves or Carrie Underwood?
I get, oh God. Heck. Well, shoot. I guess I'll go Casey Musgraves. Honestly, like, I know that one Carrie Underwood song. I remember her on American Idol. I probably wouldn't go to either, but it's just because that's not my personal taste in music. So we'll go with Casey Musgraves. It's like
I feel it. I feel it.
I
Okay.
love her
Okay.
personality. I love the strength of her femininity and her like feminism. I think she's great.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Okay, so here we go. Which concert would you rather go to?
Okay.
Would you rather go see Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick Lamar. I love Drake. Don't get me wrong, Fancy is one of my favorite songs, but when we're talking about substance, I Kendrick for sure.
I'm with you on that. Girl,
Okay.
you ain't got to sweet talk me. I'm with you on that. Kendrick Lamar is definitely the pick, no question. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Which concert would you rather go to and rather attend? Would you rather go see Brandy or Monica? R&B.
That's just mean. I mean, can't we see them both together because they're queens in their own right. But
Yeah, and that is
Brandy.
absolutely wonderful to say, Amber, but for the purposes of this game,
Okay.
we're going to just have 51 and 49. Which one are you
I'm gonna
choosing?
pick I'm gonna pick Brandy.
Oh, I like
It's
that. I
Brandy.
like that. Okay, okay. I know it was hard. I know it was hard.
That was really tough.
I know it was, but listen, that means you have good ears because they're both talented.
Oh,
So I love
no.
that. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Which artist would you rather see in person, Chris Brown or Usher?
Usher. Usher. I know Chris Brown gives a great show. I'm still not over what happened between he and Rihanna before the Grammys that year. So I've got to pick Usher. He's
I
always
do.
consummate showman, I gotta go that way.
I feel it. Listen, Amber, on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, listen, we all know he was in the wrong. We got to
We
let it
all
go.
have
We got to
days.
frozen it. We got to let it go.
I
Okay.
know. I know. It's a personal issue, Chris. I'm gonna meditate on it. Okay.
That's right. That's right. When you're out on your run, I need you to meditate on that. Okay, for real, right?
I'm gonna
For
give it some
sure.
thought. I'm gonna think about it.
Thank you. All right, here we go though. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Oh gosh, I like them both kind of a lot. If I had to pick one to play, I'm gonna go bowling. You can have a beer, you can relax, you can roll and just have a great time. Badminton is super fun, but that's a lot of cardio, and it's also a completely different, like it's a day sport. I feel like bowling is kind of an evening sport. I'm gonna go bowling. I'm gonna go with the Big Lebowski.
All right, I love it. I love people. If everybody knows that reference, the Big Lebowski, I love
If
that.
you haven't seen it, go see it. It's great. It's
Right,
great.
right. It's a classic movie. Are you a good bowler?
I'm pretty good. I would say average like right around 200. I feel like that's ambitious. I feel like I average between 150 and 200. I just have a good time. I just like it.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm about to say, well, damn. I would say you're pretty good too. 200. I would say, okay, all right. I was gonna ask you if you need the bumpers, but anybody saying
No, no,
150,
no, I'm
200,
okay.
no.
I can't put the spin on the ball, but like just a
Mm,
straight roll straight down the middle. I got it.
yeah, I feel you on that. Okay. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you
Okay.
rather watch basketball or football?
I guess football. There's just more of like a community element to watching football, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in a big basketball family. So I feel like football kind of brings people together more and it's a spectacle. Football it's a real spectacle.
Okay, I respect that. Listen, now that we're new friends, Amber, I'm gonna have to hook you up to some basketball. Okay, give you some
Okay.
tips about basketball because like you said, you're not in the biggest family, and we need to be
Yeah.
able to expand our horizons. And sometimes, bringing in different perspectives is always good. So listen, I'm here for that. I'm just letting you know.
I
No doubt,
appreciate
no
that. I
doubt.
appreciate that.
Yeah, you got to go see some, at least some Mountaineer basketball. College basketball out there is
Yeah.
pretty good. I don't, you don't have professional near you,
No.
unfortunately, but Mountaineer basketball may be good. So college basketball is pretty good. So,
Okay,
okay,
I'll give it a try, I promise.
please do. If
Open.
you have any
Stay open,
questions, I'm
right?
here for you. Okay,
Okay.
I'm here for
Thank
sure.
you.
You're very welcome. Next question of the this or that. Do you like desserts?
Ah, you know what? I love desserts, but like your body doesn't like spice, my body doesn't like sugar. So I can answer this because I've had almost a full life of experience with desserts, but I'm not a dessert eater. I can't be. I can't eat sugar.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
listen. Well, in your prime, let's
Mhm.
say that
In the good days.
in the good days. Let's put it like that. I'm
Okay.
going to name four categories. You
Ooh,
get to
okay.
choose one that you'll never eat again. Okay. So
Okay.
here we go.
Okay.
The first one is cake.
Mm,
The next one is cookies.
mm,
The next one is ice cream.
mm.
The last one is candy. Which one would you have said to?
I'm gonna let the cookies go. I'm gonna let the cookies go. I've got to keep the candy, the cake, and the ice cream especially.
Wow.
I know,
That
I know. No, I'm living, so close to Pennsylvania, which is the home of the cookie bar. If you go to a wedding in Pennsylvania, you will see a minimum of 30 different kinds of cookies. It's a big, big deal here. I know I'm going against the status quo. I'm swimming upstream, but I gotta let the cookies
Sure, you definitely are. There's no question about that. But listen, that's what we do as journalists and media people. We live on the edge, so it's okay.
go. Keep it exciting.
That's right. You said the cookie bar. There's a cookie
Mhm.
bar there in
Yeah,
West Virginia.
it's a big tradition at weddings in this region.
Oh,
There's
okay.
always like all the family members, like everybody brings their own special cookie. There's pizzelles, there's gel stuffed ones, there's chocolate, there's powdered, there's lemon, there's any type of cookie you can imagine. You'll see on these huge displayed tables at the end of the wedding, and everybody gets to just go and graze the cookie bar. And they are beautiful, I have to say that. The cookie table is always gorgeous.
Okay. I'm a huge gingerbread, so gingerbread
Oh,
cookies.
okay.
I love to eat those. So they're delicious, no question.
Awesome.
And oatmeal raisin too. Yeah, that's me.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, awesome. Is that your
yeah,
favorite? No, gingerbread's your favorite. Is
yeah.
that your
Oatmeal second
number
favorite.
one? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got a little
Okay.
healthy in there. I like that. That's good. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, I love me some oatmeal for sure. Okay. Let me ask you, do you like potato chips?
I love potato chips.
Okay, so now it's gonna be the same format.
Okay.
I'm gonna name four brands. You got to get rid of one of these brands you'll never eat again. So here we go.
This is gonna be hard. I'm sweating. Okay.
First one is Lay's.
Okay.
The next one is Doritos.
Okay.
The next one is Pringles.
Okay.
The last one is Ruffles.
Oh,
Which one?
dadgummit. I knew you were gonna round that out with Ruffles. I love them all, but okay. If I had to put one down and just never see it again, it would be so
Never
sad.
eat it.
God, I guess of those 4, I guess I'm going Ruffles because I feel like you can
Oh
kinda
hell no. Oh
I know, but the
no.
Lay's, like, the slight crunchy, super, super crunchy. I can't give up Pringles because my girls love them too, so it's, like, sentimental for me. Doritos are my
Mhm.
favorite because they're corn chips. Dang, Ruffles. Ruffles have ridges. Do you remember those commercials back in
I
the
do
day?
remember
The
that. I
Ruffles have
do.
ridges. I
Yeah.
mean, chips and dip was my favorite, favorite, favorite snack.
That's why it's hard to give up Ruffles. Buffalo chicken dip and a Ruffle chip. Oh my gosh. That's just phenomenal. I
No,
love
you're
it.
right. That's a beautiful match.
Uh I would have gave up the Lay's
The
because
Lay's, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's either
because
the thin or the thick, like, you gotta go for one of the 2 textures.
right. And they have many flavors, don't get me wrong. And I do like some of the flavors that Lay's have, but they have not sour cream, but salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar is the worst chip ever made.
It's the
No,
best they've
second,
ever made.
second
The
one.
best. I will take you to the mat over that. They are the best. Seriously,
See,
it's probably my number 1. I'm sorry.
that's
It's
why. That's
okay.
why. Listen, it's okay. We can't have it all, Amber. We've been
That's okay.
vibing all. We can't have it all. It's all right. Long as
Oh,
you,
man.
I'm saying the Funyuns is the worst chip ever
Oh,
made.
agreed. No, no, completely on the same page with you there.
Funyuns,
Funyuns are
yeah,
garbage. Yes.
they're terrible, absolutely
Pork
terrible.
rinds, Funyun. Mm-mm. No.
You did very well on this or that, except for the chips. But I commend you. That's okay. That's all right. I'm not
I was
condemning
being
you.
honest. I'm just trying to be honest.
And that's good. Honesty is the best policy. That they said that in life and on the fortune cookie. So I
You're
appreciate that. I appreciate you doing that for sure.
No problem.
Now, this next question I love asking with people in media, especially
Right.
if you wasn't a voiceover talent, actress in the media kind of space, what career path would you have chosen to do and why?
Man. This could have gone a few different ways. So,
Hmm.
gosh, for this today, if I couldn't do this anymore, I would be using my MBA and I would be working in the realm of business. I'm not exactly sure where that would find me. Probably not hardcore finance, but I could definitely see myself being a CEO and just keeping the ship running. I love details. I love bringing it all together, making sure everybody's taken care of and that everything is like A to B to C. I love to cross the T's and dot the I's. When I was younger, I probably would have been a horse trainer. I would have been an equestrian and like a riding instructor because
Hmm.
I also love animals. But I could never be a vet. It's you see like there's too much. I can't stand seeing the hurt animals, I love to work with the healthy animals.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, equestrian or CEO. I think those are my only paths.
I think you would have marveled at the CEO position just based upon your personality and just how structured you are, detailed you are. And obviously, we want somebody in power and in a hierarchy position. Those are some qualities that you must need, that you
Agreed.
must, right? So I think that you would be amazing in that role for sure. And but also because of your mom abilities as well, right? So I think you would be great for sure.
Juggling many, many tasks at the same time. Yeah.
Right, absolutely, no question. I think theater for me, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I love plays, I love musicals, so theater would have definitely been something I would have enjoyed outside of journalism for sure.
Are you a singer as well?
I like to sing. Yeah,
Yeah?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so if
do.
the role required it, you'd be happy to be a singer on stage. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really awesome.
absolutely, no question. I love Hamilton, Wicked, and Hairspray are my top three musicals.
Oh, Wicked. Boy, this press junket for Wicked is, I think, the most intense promotional tour I have maybe ever witnessed in my life. I hope this movie is really a success because they are really working these girls on this press tour.
They should, because Wicked is definitely one of the top musicals, and you definitely want to do it justice on screen. And
Yeah,
sometimes these companies just go after big names instead of going after legitimate talent. So,
true.
that's why we cannot wait to see this movie and see if it does do it justice or if it doesn't, because that's what people are waiting on.
Exactly. Everybody's kind of holding their breath right now. So that'll be a great one to see.
Absolutely, no doubt. Is there a top 4 of voiceover things that you want to do, in
Ooh.
your career that you haven't done yet? What is like a bucket list of a top 4 things that you wanna do?
Okay, top 4. Number 1, I want to be a text-to-speech assistant, a Siri and Alexa. I just love generating. It sounds like the most boring thing you could do. But, I have worked on text-to-speech devices before, and that format, the format in which you have to deliver into the microphone for them to then put into their machine and break down all the vowel sounds and consonant sounds, it's right up my alley. I love it. So, definitely a huge text to speech job for a very successful device. Second, animation. It would be a dream come true to be a cartoon character. Now, those opportunities really aren't that available where I am, but I never, ever count that out of the realm of possibility. For instance, in December, I'm going to attend the SOVAS, which is the Society of Voice Arts and Sciences conference in LA, to network with some West Coast voice actors and try to see if there's any way to kind of facilitate some relationships that do extend
Love it.
across the country because everything's
I love
digital.
it. That's
Uh,
amazing.
let's see, third, I would love a national commercial. Do you remember ages ago, and I am dating myself right now, but that's okay. The where's the beef lady? "Where's the beef?" Like, she opens the sandwich and there's no meat, and she's like, "Where's the beef?"
Yes,
That
yes.
I would love to have that tagline that is just embedded in society and
Oh,
just
wow.
but nobody knows what I look like is the beauty of it, right? So I can
Right,
still walk
right.
around and it's no big deal. So, yeah, that national commercial tagline, and number
Where's the beef? I love that.
That's taking it
Took it
way,
back.
way
You took
back.
me back there. I was a kid when that came on. I was like a kid. I was like in
Oh
my
my
maybe
god.
super. I was super young. Definitely like second or third grade when that happened for
I think
sure.
I was kinda little too, but I don't remember when now I'm gonna have to YouTube it. When we
Yeah,
conclude here, I'm gonna have to look it
yeah,
up and see when that was
yeah.
filmed.
No
So
question.
let's see, those 3 things, and then finally, I would love to honestly, I have this love for teaching and facilitating, so I would love to do some really big, e-learning modules for universities and, talk people through it, turn the page and press the button. That kind of a thing, and just talking people through e-learning modules. That would be
Would love that. That's
um,
something that I would love to do. I'm intrigued by what you do because I love radio and I
yeah.
love what Morgan Freeman does. And a lot of people said I have a radio voice. I don't know if that's, I mean, I say thank you. I do. I don't know what a radio voice sounds like. I'm just talking like my regular self. But I would love to do that. I would love to do
Yeah,
like voice over work. I don't even know how you would get started into doing something like that. But
I will send you an email on LinkedIn, and I'll outline the first beginning steps because what they're hearing when they're saying radio voice, you have this really nice deep resonance that's
mm,
uh, it's coming out of, like, the lower parts of your vocal, apparatus.
boy,
Yeah,
okay,
essentially. So, like, you have a really
okay,
nice deep resonance. It fits really well into, those broadcast frequencies because you'll be heard. There's, like, this booming kind of a lower tone to your voice that is really, really pleasing and really nice, and definitely, I would say radio is great. I think it would be also really good for commercials, for e-learning, for, corporate is kind of a genre that gets overlooked a lot, but corporations
yes.
are constantly making videos to alert their employees of new policies, to alert their customers of changes. I think that you would fit really well into any of those categories.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you definitely saying that. Because I didn't even know about all those categories and different things
Oh,
you could
yeah.
do voiceover for.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I like having this podcast is learning about different things and different
Yeah.
occupations and what people do. Because it's amazing that there's so many different jobs within this media space.
Oh my,
And
it's infinite.
people don't know about it. People don't have no idea, no clue unless you talk to individuals about that.
Yeah.
I also think it's great to have this podcast because people need to know the A and B side of it. Like, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes
Oh,
with what you do, as far as media goes, what I do as far as journalism goes,
yeah.
and people don't normally see that. They just see the finished product. They either hear your voice or they see the actress in front of the camera, but they don't really see the process of what you have to go through and things that you have to really implement in your life for you to continue on and continue moving forward with the next project. And that's
Yep.
why I wanted to have this podcast because this is really a behind the scenes look of talking to people about their whys, but also their jobs and their journeys. And if you want to do this, this is what you're probably going to have to go through.
Mhm. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Staying curious, learning from other people, and also giving people, like, a space to open up and to talk about, where they are, how they got there, how happy they are being there. That's
Absolutely.
wonderful, Chris. That's great.
I wanted to ask you this next one because it's a great, great segue here. And this is advice. Again, we gave advice to others of wanting to be in this industry, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Let's see. Advice that someone has given me that I hold on dearly to. I would say, um, it's gotta be my grandma, and she's just always told me that it's okay to be a creative. And I'm gonna
Mm,
kinda define what that means a little bit because I think that there are times that you really have to hang yourself out and just bet on yourself in this industry. There are feast times, there are famine times, times when, it's essentially like being a lion out on the plains. Not every attack is going to result in a meal. Um,
right.
so during those times, hearing the words, it's okay to be a creative. This is, um, not everybody is a pragmatist, not everybody is a financial analyst. It's
True.
okay to continue to go forward and to keep working even in slow times. So yeah, It's okay. It's just okay to be who you are, to reach your audience the way you need to, and to keep going.
I like that. I do.
Granny.
Piggyback off that, know your worth.
Know your
Amber, a lot of people in this industry sometimes don't know what their worth is because they're always on prove it mode, right? They're trying to prove that they're bosses or prove that they can do this
Yeah.
as far as the job goes and stuff like that. You gotta know your worth.
Yeah.
I let people know that all the time, especially my young boys and girls that ask me questions about journalism. Another thing I always tell them is be comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's
That's
huge. That's huge.
huge, huge in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I think I try to tell them that because in life you're going to deal with situations that are not ideal, but you got to have the comfortability to make an uncomfortable situation a comfortable one enough for you.
Yeah.
That's the same way in this industry and in any industry. There's people that's going to ask you to do things that you might not be comfortable with. There's things that you like we talked about. You have to miss some things. You have
Mhm.
to be able to understand that every day is not going to be a comfortable day, but if you can deal with adverse situations, you're going to thrive in this industry and in
Yeah.
any industry. So I like to tell my young boys and young girls, be comfortable being uncomfortable. Live your life like that. And I truly live mine like that as well.
That's excellent. It's kinda like the Velveteen Rabbit, right? If we're too precious and we have to be kept too safe and too neat, we don't really get to experience, right? So you have to be
So,
willing just to put everything out there and remember, at the end of the day, we're lucky for each and every morning we wake up. So you're right.
mm,
Uncomfortable, comfortable, take it as it comes. Use it somehow. Find something about it to use to fuel yourself and keep going.
sure, absolutely. I think my dad told me that he said comfort is a disease for progress. That's what he said.
Your comfort
And
zone will kill you. Yeah.
I was like, at first, I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I
Isn't
was
isn't
kind of
it the
young when he
point?
said that.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
but as I've gotten older, I do, and I live like that. And that was to me, that was sound, great advice from him. And I definitely take that with whatever project I do and whatever I do in life for sure.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Amber, we are getting close to the end of the podcast. We are now going to do some rapid fire questions. So, the first thing
Okay.
that comes to your mind, you just blurt out the answer. Are you
Okay.
ready?
We'll see. I think so.
Hey, okay. I'm
Okay.
with you. I'm with you. You're going to do great. Here we go. Burgers or tacos?
Tacos,
Okay. Waffles or pancakes?
waffles.
Okay. Chicken or ribs?
Oh, damn it, both. Chicken. That was cruel.
That's funny. I love that. I love it. Don't stop being you, Amber. I love it.
Thank
That is
you.
amazing. That's amazing. Okay.
Oh.
Favorite color?
Favorite color? Green.
Favorite color?
Green.
Green? Okay. Favorite board game?
Monopoly.
Now you know I'm a beast when I get that boardwalk and park place
Oh,
now.
no, you
I'm
take
a beast with
over.
it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, good to know. Maybe we'll
All
play maybe
right.
we won't. I don't know. We'll see.
That's my favorite game though. I love Monopoly.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
Absolutely. Spades or dominoes?
Spades. I grew up with a
You
card
know I
sharp
play some
of a grandma.
spades.
I like dominoes, but I kill at spades.
Say less. You know how to play some spades.
Yes. Oh, I grew up learning how to play spades. Yeah, my grandmother is I don't know how she does it, but she can count cards. She doesn't know what she's doing, but she's doing it. She knows every card in the deck and every card that gets played. So being her partner as an 8-year-old was brutal. So I fought my way to my spades domination and I wear it proudly. I love it.
Okay. Now let me ask you, do you do ace high or do you do joke joke deuce deuce?
Ace high.
Ace high.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's
okay,
what we
so you
usually play.
okay, Yahoo spades pretty much. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
So,
No
yeah.
question. No question. Okay. All right. That's what's up. Now you can officially come to the cookout because you know the cookout.
Ah,
You can
thanks. Can
come
we
to
have chicken
the
and ribs? Both
That's right.
cookout, please.
Both of
Thank
them.
you. Okay, good, good.
Both
I'll
of
come.
them. Yes.
I'll come.
Now you know cookout games are spades and dominoes. That's a cookout game. You don't know how
Mhm,
to play that. Now Uno. Uno's a cookout game too. Now people put
mhm.
Uno on there. Which let me ask you this: favorite card game?
Favorite card game, and I'll go ahead and disqualify spades because we all know that I love that. I Gosh, either Uno or Rummy. Um,
Mm,
Uno, Rummy, and Solitaire are my top 3. But I'm
okay,
gonna
okay.
go with Uno because that's a fun one. Everybody in the family can play it regardless of age. Everybody gets involved and has a great time, so we'll go with Uno.
Absolutely, until somebody get hit with that draw four. Everybody having a great time, you get hit with the draw four now. That's that's true. That's very
It's
true.
very true.
Favorite alcoholic drink?
Favorite wine? White wine.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Classic
I'm a
mom
fan.
answer, right?
Listen, after a full day, I totally understand. Have a nice. I'm red. I'm a Cabernet person,
Oh,
but yes, I
yeah.
definitely have my red wine. Sometimes I need it. There's no question.
It's wonderful. It's a nice just at the end of the day, you sit with yourself. It's like I said about giving yourself those little rewards, those little things. It's like if I work extra hard, I can have a glass of Grigio or I can have a glass of Pinot Noir or
Ooh,
something at the end of the
ooh,
day. So, yeah,
I love me
definitely.
some Grigio though. I love me some Grigio. That's amazing. Okay, I like you got some good taste. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just finished This Is Us, but Bob's Burgers is on play like in the background all the time. It's that Conjuring, right? Bringing the animation into real life. We also, oh my God, there are so
Oh,
many TV shows. I I don't know if I can answer that question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can give you a top 5, like I can meet you there, but I don't think I could do just one.
okay. Give me a top five.
Okay, so the top 5. So that would This Is Us was fantastic. It was a little bit dramatic for me, like, I felt like it was heavy, but
It
I
was.
stayed involved because I just had to know what happened to them next, you know? So and that's a little out of normal for me. I like animation, I like comedy, I like to keep it light with my entertainment. So Bob's
True.
Burgers, as I mentioned. Let's see, I also love This Is Silly. This Is Silly. I love America's Funniest Home Videos. I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
Like, it's always hilarious.
It is. No
No.
question.
So there's that, my daughters actually dragged me down the Adventure Time wormhole. Have you seen the it's a cartoon. I mean, it's, for
Mm-mm.
kids, but also enjoyable by adults, kinda like The Simpsons.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Adventure Time, and then The Simpsons is gonna be my number 5 because I've been watching The Simpsons since they were on the Tracy Ullman Show before they got their own platform, and watching the evolution, the storylines, the characters, like, Simpsons, for sure.
Wow, Amber, you took it back with that one. Tracy Ullman.
Yeah, yeah.
No question about that one.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, it's been a wonderful life, Chris, but a long one at this point,
I
so
feel it. I feel it. You know what? I totally understand. Bob Burgers. Nobody on this damn platform has said Bob Burgers as a favorite TV show.
I
That
love Bob's
is
Burgers.
amazing. That's
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
that you said that because I do like Bob's Burgers a
You
lot.
do?
But yeah, I'm a huge Bob Burgers person. I love Boondocks. I remember. You remember the Boondocks?
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. My girls have been trying to learn the slick back dance, the air walking dance that goes
Mhm.
to slick back. So yeah, Boondocks is great. Now I need to dive in a little bit more. I've only seen episode here, episode there. I've never just sat down and like watched everything for the through line of the story, but very good
Absolutely.
one. Very
Rick and Morty,
Oh,
South
yeah.
Park.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So those are my shows for sure.
Oh, right on. Awesome.
If you had three people plus yourself to take on a vacation, they could be family, they could be celebrities. Where would you go, and who would you take?
Okay. So, I get to take 3 including myself, or is it 3 total?
Nope, three including yourself, so a total
Including
of four.
myself. Okay, so I would take, my husband and my daughters, and we would go to Switzerland because I wanna taste Swiss chocolate. And when you see the videos of the train going through the Swiss mountainside and just that pristine, snowy, gorgeous weather, and then even in the spring with those huge rolling, lush hills and everything just looks untouched and just beautiful and unpolluted, I would love to see it.
Well, you definitely let me know. Since it's on the bucket list, let me know how that goes for sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. If you had a chance to listen to either three artists or three music songs on repeat and never get tired of them, who would the three artists or three songs be?
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Okay. That I'll go with artists because I can have their whole catalogs in that case, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so Bill Withers, number 1. Love
Ooh,
to listen to
okay.
Bill Withers
Yeah.
24 hours a day. Um, Vivaldi, classical composer, would be another. I
Mhm.
really, really enjoy his work as a
Yeah.
whole. And 3rd, Whitney Houston, 100%. I could listen to her voice every second of the day and never get tired of it.
Yeah, that's my mother's favorite singer of all time,
Oh,
Whitney Houston.
she's
No
just
question.
one of the best of all time for
Um,
sure.
one of my favorites is definitely Bill Withers.
Yeah.
I mean, just the two of us is a classic one, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
people that really know who Bill Withers is and who is he and what is he to you is one of my favorite
Oh,
songs.
that's chills, right? That's one of those goosebump songs.
Absolutely.
Have you seen
Absolutely.
the documentary film about him? It's called Still Bill.
No, I have not.
Oh,
No.
I highly recommend it. It really goes into his life beyond, the music career, because he was an airline mechanic at the same time that he was building his music career,
Wow.
and it was so interesting. He was fired from or laid off from his airline mechanic job. He got 2 calls one day. He got a call to go back to work at the airline, and he got a call to be on, the Johnny Carson show. So it was sort of like this huge split in his life. Anyway, it's incredible. You should still Bill. I highly recommend it.
I definitely will now. No question. What is your favorite Bill Withers song?
So, he has a song called My Imagination,
Yeah.
and that's not
Yeah.
only my favorite, it's, my husband and I's favorite. The lyrics are just so poignant. He's wonderful, right? What does he say in,
Yes.
Just the 2 of Us? No time for tears, wasted water is all that is, and it doesn't don't make no flowers grow, the way he puts
Yep.
it. Just all these beautiful little, just life lessons packed into these gorgeous
Absolutely.
songs, and
He followed that up by saying, "Good things might come to those who wait, but not for those who wait too late."
that's so true.
Right.
We have to be about that action. We have to keep
Right.
forward,
Right.
like, wow.
I
Yeah.
feel you on that. I think I have a tie with that before I get to the last rapid fire. That would be Grandma's Hands. Uh,
Oh, God, how did I forget that? Don't tell my grandma because 'cause I've sent her that song, like, once a year for the last
it,
decade.
right? That's
The
a
favorite.
classic song. And then Use Me.
Oh, of
Those are the two.
course.
Those are tied. So yes, those are a tie for me, for sure.
What a prolific artist.
Amber, if they said that you can only do voiceover for one genre of like work, whether it's sports, news, entertainment, animation, corporations, e-learning. What genre would you choose if you only
I'm
could do one of those for the rest of your career?
I'm deep in thought here, really, seriously. So ideally, right, let's say all of these types of work are abundant and available in the area where I am. I would say animation, of course. Everybody wants to connect to that true, like, acting part of voice acting. Um,
Okay.
that would be fantastic. And pragmatically, I would say, geez. I would
Mm,
say commercial. I would say commercial. I love
okay.
e-learning, I love corporate, but with commercial, right? It's always changing. There's such an array of brands that you can, speak for, and the copy's always changing. They're quick. Usually, the scripts are between 30 seconds and 1 minute, so you can do a lot of that in a day. So, yeah, I would say commercial.
All right. I love that. This has been a really, really dope conversation, Amber, as you're an
Agreed.
amazing, amazing woman. There's no
Thank you.
question about that. Learning about your history from coming into this media industry, right? Being from, are you from Tennessee?
Yeah,
Tennessee, right?
I'm
Yeah,
from
Tennessee.
the middle of Middle Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's the geographical center of the state.
Right, right, right. So, being from there, going to MTSU, but then later on going to West Liberty,
Mhm.
also having ties to Pittsburgh, which
Mm.
I have ties to because I have family out there. The different projects that you've done, from Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, I believe, to
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives. You also
Yep.
done theater for Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
You've done numerous of voiceovers, and you gave some really great advice.
Thank you.
It's really appreciative to talk to someone who passionately loves what they do but juggles everything that they do in a full 24-hour day and do it with such grace. and
Oh, thank
such
you.
talent, no question about it. So, Amber, as I always do, I ask this final question: is there anything else that you would like to add on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast before we conclude?
I would like to add, thank you so much for the invitation. To anybody who's watching, if you're having a tough day, remember it's going to get better. Everything always changes, and that's the one thing we can count on. So I would just say, yeah, thanks again for your time, and let's all just go out there and have a great day.
And absolutely, you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and the rest of your week, and you know you and I will definitely be in touch. There's no question about that. So take care,
Sounds great,
Amber.
Chris.
Thank you again.
Okay, have a great day. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.